empty, fading. I want you again, I want you again. I'm far from sober, won't hold me over. I can't pretend, I can't pretend.
Hey, what's up world? It's your girl Brittany, and today I have somebody very beautiful here with me. Niykee Heaton, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, so today's a very big day for you. Bad Intentions, the EP, is on iTunes right now as we speak. And the last time we checked, you were number 6.
I think I'm still at number 6 right now. I'm like trying to get all my fans and like push to number 5, but right now we're staying at 6.
Okay, well, let's push it for number 1.
Okay, well, yeah, that works.
And then we can celebrate, and then you get some champagne for the pain, right?
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so most people probably know you from the cool hip-hop covers that you do on YouTube. Tell me about the first time you decided to do like a hip-hop cover and post it on your YouTube channel.
Well, for the longest time I was doing just like covers of a bunch of songs. Like they weren't exactly hip-hop, they were just like popular. And when I met my manager, I picked her up in the airport and I think I was blasting like Pusha T in the car, and she's like, you actually listen to this stuff? And I was like, yeah, it's the only genre that I really, that's actually the only thing that I listen to. And she's like, well, why don't you cover this? And I was like, no, I can't sing a rap song. Like, who does that? Yeah. And she's like, okay, well, I guess you can't then. And of course I had to show her and prove her wrong. So we decided to do Chief Keef, Love Sosa, because it was really hot at the time. And it was probably the most like shocking thing that we could come up with. So I decided to cover that, and then the way people reacted and the way they embraced what I was doing, we just continued to do it.
So who are some of your favorite rappers then right now?
Right now, I mean, my favorite is of course Drake. I feel like everyone's is. I love Nicki Minaj. I love 2 Chainz. I love like real gutter stuff. Like I love like Migos. I love Pusha T. I love Young Dro. Just pretty much all hip hop.
So what else do you listen to then, I guess, besides hip hop? Is it like strictly, is that what you grew up on?
Oh no, growing up, both of my siblings were like big like music people. Like they influenced me with everything that they did, and my brother listened to Bob Dylan and the Pogues, and my sister listened to like Jeff Buckley and the Doors, and so I kind of got all of that. And they drilled into my head a long time ago when I accidentally said I like the Pussycat Dolls when I was 8. My sister almost took my head off, and she's like, those are not real artists. You have to love someone who does songwriting. Like they don't even do it. Like she was so mad. So I was like, okay, I have to be a real artist. So I mean, my tastes growing up were Bob Dylan and Tom Waits and a little bit more folk and more bluegrass. So that's where I got my writing style from, is because I studied their works. Yeah. And then so when I was 10, I started listening to Lil Jon, and it kind of crossed over a little bit.
Brand new addictions. I'm bound to anything that stops me from thinking about you.
So wait, where are you originally from? You're from Illinois, right?
Yes.
Okay, born and raised there.
Yes, okay. And my mom is from South Africa, and all her family's there, so I go back to visit all the time.
Oh, okay. So how was that like culturally? Because like your mother's from South Africa, and then you're American. So was there ever like a clash with, you know, the different cultures of how you grew up as an American kid, but your mom's probably still trying to like reinforce some of the customs and cultures of being a South African?
The only thing that was different is that growing up, my mom was like a complete hippie, like completely. So growing up, we were always like barefoot and naked and free, and I thought that was completely normal, and I think that reflects in my Instagram too. I'm like, I just feel like that's natural. That's, you know. So she raised all of us just like super hippie kids. That's why I'm always barefoot and naked.
Yes, your Instagram is very sexy.
Yeah, I don't even mean for it to be, honestly. Everyone's like, tell me how you make your thirst traps, or like, why are you always naked? I'm like, I don't, because that's how I am in real life. Like I don't go put on a bikini and nipple tassels just to take a picture. Like I'm walking around like that's what I do. I'm always naked, and I don't feel like I'm trying to sexualize it. I'm just, hey, this is me. I'm gonna let my social media reflect exactly who I am.
But there is an art to a thirst trap.
Oh yeah, I just don't know that art.
Okay.
Like someone asked me, like they're like, how do you make the perfect thirst trap? And I was like, I don't know. Like you'll see on my Instagram, I'll go like a whole week of just posting pictures of my Shar-Pei, or like eating chicken wings in bed, and like that's because that's just what I'm doing. And then sometimes I'll be wearing a bikini, and like, I don't know what just happened.
Chicken wings, bikinis, and
Shar-Peis.
Expensive dogs.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's my life.
So tell me about how you linked up with Russell and Steve Rifkind.
Well, after Love Sosa kind of popped off, all the labels started reaching out. Like everything went crazy. Like everyone was calling. Like every single label was like, can we get a meeting? Like someone actually flew to my house while I was still in high school, like to like come and talk to me. And we decided to take a few meetings and just see what people wanted. And everyone was super interested. They were all like, hey, we want to sign you right now, which was great, but they all had their own idea of what I should be.
Right.
And they were kind of telling me what their image was, and that's not what I wanted. And so we decided to stop taking meetings and just to make music and, you know, work for like a little while so we could come back and be like, hey, this is who I am. This is my music. This is what I sound like. So once we had like a little like catalog, we were looking around, and my manager saw an article about Steve and Russell and their new platform and how it was based on the artist. And it was based off of like YouTube kind of. And we're like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know, it sounds kind of familiar. So we decided to go to LA and take a meeting with Steve. And he basically said, you know, I love what you're doing. I want you to keep doing it, but I'm gonna help you and just push it. So we decided that was the first person who really believed in what I was doing.
So how was it like in high school? Because you were in high school when Love So Still was blowing up, right? So was that like, did everybody like, oh my god, Niykee, you're so cool? Or was it like, you think you're hot now?
Well, I mean, I never really had a good high school experience.
Okay.
So I didn't really expect anything from them. I mean, I was like, people knew when I was in elementary school that I was different. So I was treated differently. I was kind of isolated. I was kind of an outcast. People just kind of stayed away from me. They thought I was weird because I was. And I was fine with it. And I think that's what made them more mad, is that I didn't try to fit in. I didn't care about fitting in. So my main goal was to just graduate high school as early as possible and start my career. And so when things started to pop off, I think people got even more mad, and they just, you know, mean glares and like whispering under their breath, and I was like, whatever.
So like, what about boys? Are you dating anybody?
No, I just don't have the time or energy. Like my DMs are always full of either like rappers or athletes, and I just don't have the time. I mean, Chief Keef always like invites me over for sleepovers. I'm like, I can't.
That is fucking awesome. To get like, for people to be sliding in your DMs like all the time.
That's how they do it. If Chief Keef came up to me in person and was like, hello, you're beautiful, do you want to go get some coffee? I'm like, oh, all right, sure. But he isn't. He's like, come to my mansion, baby.
Okay, so what can we expect from Niykee by the end of the year? I mean, because the EP is doing very well. Like, what are your end of the year goals?
To be honest, I would just love to start doing some shows, to start traveling around, maybe hop on a tour. I'm gonna keep making music, but I feel like right now I should just focus on, you know, kind of spreading my EP even further.
Yeah.
So I would love to start touring a little bit, maybe go to different places, do some spot dates, just meet my fans, because that's what's really important.
So who are like some people, like if you could team up and do a tour with some people kind of like a lot of smaller venues, who would you want to kind of team up with?
Well, I mean, my kind of music is interesting because I kind of reach a whole bunch of different like audiences. So I could team up with Maroon 5 and it would make sense, or I could, you know, open for 2 Chainz and it would make sense. So there's a bunch of different options. I would love to tour with someone like Drake, just because I feel like we have similar fan bases. But I mean, I'd be open to anything.
All right, so hypothetically, if Drake slid in your DMs, you're replying, right?
Probably.
Okay.
I'll make an exception.
Yeah, I mean, it's Drake, like, you have to. And he's like such a nice guy, you know? And
he is a nice guy.
He would, you know, write a song about you.
Right, I think he'd be a little bit more of a gentleman than GBE.
Yeah.
Right?
Completely.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, Niykee, she didn't want to be with me, you know, or
but it's
something.
okay, you're still beautiful.
Yeah.
I still love you.
He's so sweet.
So sweet. Hi, this is Niykee Heaton, and you're watching Global Grind TV.
He said Pharrell sat at the board,
right,
like this.
Pick me up on a helicopter and take me to, no, I don't know.